baby. Tell me destination to go. Sit down, baby. Once again, I showed my vanity, facing all the human of society. Such a party, such a need a right dress for me. Yeah. Oh, baby, follow me, 'cause tonight is special. Misery is my only pleasure, and you are the most special. Limousines and diamonds, one more, give me more.
哎呀，可以啊，这边可以吗？嗯， Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me well? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me well? Is it too noisy? Testing 1, 2, 3. Is it okay? 2分钟。Okay, so shall we begin? Because I'm not 100% sure what is going on in here. It seems like the PowerPoint mod cannot be activated. Sorry, I'm still new to all this. So let's just do in a manual way, where I'm going to show you just like this. So hopefully you all don't mind for showing you under such circumstances. So with the organization, shall we begin? So uh, okay, shall we begin? Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so today we are going to have a look at this technique of answering Stpm chemistry for year 2020. Hello, how are you? I'm Mr. Chu. Nice to meet all of you, students from all over Malaysia. Today I shall be doing a PowerPoint presentation in the form of slide, though it's a little bit unexpected. So we just have a look looking like this. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay, so today we shall discuss on how to answer the examination questions. I hope that you have already downloaded the questions from my blog, which is available through chemistrychill.blogspot.com, and you can print out the answer on your own because the answer everything is given there except for objective. So objective, I'm going to teach you on how to tackle the uh, the objective question one by one, showing you how the techniques of answering and etc. Okay, so without hesitation, shall we straight away goes to our main point today? Okay, so now, before examinations, this is my few advice for all of you who are about to take STPM. Yes, some of them remind that is how many more days to go? It's around 20 more days to go. Yes, from the first paper physics. Yes. Okay, so for I don't think it's only the chemistry, but also for other subjects, it should be the same. Where first of all, you have to make sure that you read in detail all chapter of chemistry. Now, if possible, you make your own short notes. I feel that in the tomorrow I'll put on some short notes guidance for you all in the form of PDF files, okay, where you all can refer to that short notes and then you add or subtract on your own, depends on what you favor of. Okay, so you hopefully you'll be able to benefit from it. So I'll upload to my blog tomorrow. So but to be honest, it is better for you to put the short notes on your own because you make the short note based on your understanding. Okay. So you can check with your teachers, reference books, and online sources. Okay. Then number two, you must do all the past year question examination from 2013 to 2019, 2019. So there are various sources nowadays. So access them in the way or ask from your teachers. I'm sure that I've already shared the files to teachers all over the Malaysia. I asked my friends to share with all of their students the zip file where you all can get the past year question from them. If not, in market there is this books published by Sasbadi. You can also purchase from there. So it's up to you. It's your own freedom on how you are going to get the sources. Okay, but make sure that you try at least a few years of them so that you know how easy STPM questions can be. Okay, so please do try them. Okay, and then third thing, I would advise you all to do a study group with your friends. So a group of study is actually the best way to study in STPM because some of the very good students understand you can survive on your own, but for most very average students like me, like you, like everyone's listening to these blogs, listening here, you probably have less experience. So I would really advise you all to do a study groups, and then you can exchange ideas on how to memorize things, how to remember things. Maybe your friends have some formulas. Okay, so it is better for you to learn from them. Okay, and you also sometimes share with your friends, because I always believe that when you teach your friend, at the same time you learn better. Okay, so do exchange some ideas and then chat with your friends. Okay, okay, now so I'm going to straight away goes to the points where how are you going to tackle STPM examination on the examination day, shall we? Okay, so first of all, during examinations, you know that you have already set for semester one. So the format of the STPM for chemistry shouldn't be too new for you. You have already familiar for it. Yes, you have 1 hour 30 seconds, three sections. Section A, objective 15 question. Section B, two structure question, and section C, three essay question. You choose two. Now you have to wisely divide your time because the time allocation for each of these time are very different. So you have to be very smart in your own way to allocate your time wisely. Okay, so I'm going to show you here. Mm, so like this, for example, this is the format. Okay, okay. So you have a 15 mark for section A, 15 mark for section B, and 30 mark for section C. So the division of time for 1.5 hours, which is actually 90 minutes, should be equivalent for section A, four portion. One portion for section A, one portion for section B, and two portions for section C, because the total mark is 30, so 15, 15 for each question in the essay. Okay, so you shouldn't over focus on one section part lah. This is what I try to highlight in here. So I will advise you all to averagely time allocate for each question. For objective question is 1 minute 20 seconds per question. Of course, I don't expect you to time very accurately this 1 minute 20 seconds. So you go through the question as fast as you can. So answer those you are confident in, especially when it involves theoretical part. So uh, theoretical part, if you remember, then you can solve it very easily. But if you cannot remember, no matter how you force yourself, it will take a lot of time to recall back what you have studied. So instead of wasting that time to remember that 1 mark, I will definitely advise you all to go to the next question. So my point is, do not spend too much time on objective alone. Okay, so minimum time advice is 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, okay, so that is for A. So without hesitation, let's have a look at the section A's question that I've already prepared for you. So I hope that you have already tried on your own, and I will share with you on the way of how to solve them, shall we? Okay, so let's have a look at question number one. Enthalpy change that are difficult to measure directly can be often be determined using Hess law to construct an enthalpy cycle. Which enthalpy change is indicated by X in the enthalpy cycle shown below? So this is the enthalpy cycle in here. Okay, so it is made from three different type of enthalpy change of formation and one enthalpy change of combustion. So enthalpy change of formation, this is for methane, while this is for carbon dioxide, while this is for water. So X is for water. Okay, so the question asks, which enthalpy change is indicated by X in the enthalpy change shown? So you have to build based on Hess law. So for Hess law, you definitely need to show Okay, how to write the equation. So for carbon dioxide, C plus O2 gives CO2. This is enthalpy change of formation for carbon monoxide. Then for water, H2 plus half O2 give H2O, enthalpy change of formation for water. And then C plus 2H2 gives CH4. This is enthalpy change of formation for CH4. Okay, so in order to get to your combustion equation, CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. For the first equation in here, this one, CO2 plus O2 C plus O2 gives CO2 remain unchanged. Okay. However, for the second part, H2 plus O2 give H2O, because at the end of the day, you require 2 water in here. Okay, you require 2 water in here. So you need to multiply the enthalpy change of formation by 2. Now you do not need to reverse it, okay, because the water is already at the right hand side of the equation, if you see carefully. Okay. As for the third equation, you reverse it. Now our main objective here is to find out what is the x here. So x here is definitely answer D, plus 2 of the enthalpy change of formation. The plus 2 in here means that at the end of the day, you need to sum up all the enthalpy change in here so that you can get enthalpy change of combustion for CH4. Okay, so that is why for the first answer, the answer is donkey D. Let's go to the second question. A student makes 25 centimeter cube of 0.350 of sodium hydroxide solution with 25 centimeter cube of 0.350 mole of hydrochloric acid. Temperature rose by 2.5 degrees Celsius. Assume that no heat was lost to the surrounding. Final mixture has a specific capacity of 4.20 joule minus 1 Kelvin minus 1. What is the molar enthalpy change for the reaction? So you have your selection A, B, C, D here. So how do we solve it? So the equation here, HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl plus H2O. So stoichiometrically, 1 hydrochloric acid react with 1 sodium hydroxide to give 1 mole of sodium chloride and 1 mole of water. Now basically this is enthalpy change of neutralization, so water is our main focus in here. So how are you going to calculate it? As usual, you use the 3-step method. First is you calculate Q equals to MC theta. So you substitute 25 plus 25 times 4.2 times 2.50. So press your calculator, you shall get 525 joule. Then next you have to determine your limitant. So your limitant will be mole of HCl is equals to mv over 1000. For this NaOH is also mv over 1000. So you substitute all the value accordingly. Since the mole and the volumes are the same, so you expect to get the same mole and both of them are considered as the limitant in here. So you get 0.0875 mole. So step 3, delta H is equals to Q over mole. So your 525 which you get from step 1 and 0.00875 which you get from step 2, divide, you get negative 60 kilojoule per mole. So the answer in here is B, boy. Okay, any problems so far? So hopefully not much of a problem. So immediately we goes to C, shall we? Number 3, shall we? So hopefully I'm not going too fast for you, because to be honest, this is how fast I usually go, because objective, I can only spend 40 minutes in here, okay? Okay, so number 3, EMF of a simple chemical cell was found to be 1.2 volt under standard condition. The following standard electrode potential are given. You have P, Q, R, and S. Now in here, our main focus is not to balance the equation. Our main objective is to calculate the E0 cells in here. Now using E0 cell equals to E cathode minus E anode. So you have to determine which one is the anode, which one is the cathode. Now if you compare P to Q, so always remember the detail, always remember the way of how to determine which one is cathode, which one is anode. So how do we determine which one is anode, which one is cathode? Always remember the one with the more positive or less negative is the cathode of the cell. While conversely, the one which is more negative or least positive is the anode of the cell. So if you compare P to Q, so P is negative, Q is positive, so Q is the cathode, P is the anode. So you substitute 0.03 minus negative 1.8, you get positive 2.1 volt. As for B, when you compare P and S, so S is negative 0.03, P is negative 1.8. So S shall be the cathode because it is less negative, while P shall be the anode because it is more positive. So at the end, when you sum up negative 0.3 minus negative 1.8, you shall get positive 1.5 volt. As for C, Q, and R, So Q is positive 0.3, R is negative 0.9. So Q act as the cathode, R act as the anode. So Q minus R. So plus 0.3 minus negative 0.9, you should get 1.2, which is the answer that we want. And finally, for D, you have Q and S, where inert cell is equals to Q is positive 0.3, S is negative 0.3. So Q is the cathode, S is the anode. So you shall have positive 0.3 minus negative 0.3, you get positive 0.6 volt. Okay, so with that, the answer is clearly C. Next, we shall go to question number 4. So question number 4 shows a setup of the hydrogen electrode as shown in the diagram below. What would be the changes made to this standard electrode, hydrogen electrode, so that it will be a standard condition? Okay, so the temperature of the gas and the acidic solution, if you notice carefully, hydrogen gas at 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere. Now, students sometimes confuse there are two terms in here. The one that you used to learn during your O level or SPM level, standard temperature pressure is 0 degrees Celsius, 1 atmosphere. In here, we are using standard condition. Standard condition and standard temperature pressure are totally two different things. Basically, in our terms of the thermodynamic, when we say standard condition, it is actually referring to the room temperature that you used to know. So for room temperature pressure, which is the standard condition, you must require 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere. Okay, so in here, A, the condition 0 degrees Celsius is wrong. Okay, and then for B, pressure of the hydrogen gas is correct, 1 atmosphere. For C, the metal comprising the electrode, so platinum in here is used as electrode, which is correct. And the thickness of the layer, so thickness of the platinum will not influence the standard electrode potential. Okay, so that is why in here, the one that must be corrected in here is A, temperature of the gas and the acidic solutions. Then we shall go to question number 5. Electrolysis of brine using the diaphragm cell is an important industrial process. What happened at the anode? So A, chloride are oxidized. B, hydrogen gas is produced. C, hydroxide ions are produced. And D, the reaction is 2Cl minus plus 2E minus gives Cl2. Now you have to remember, in the diaphragm cell, you use a saturated NaCl, which is a brine, is used as the electrolyte in the anode compartment. Therefore, chloride ion will oxidize according to the half equation. Now, in our anode, we use titanium as our electrode. So the real equation is 2Cl minus gives Cl2 plus 2E minus. So the answer donkey D is wrong and A is correct because chloride ion is oxidized. Whereas we continue to discuss the cathode compartment. Whereas in cathode compartment, because the sodium ions swim across to the cathode compartment, which contain mainly water, so there will be a selectivity occur between sodium plus sodium, which is negative 2.71, and water OH minus, which is negative 0.83. So by referring to their standard electrode potential, the substance discharged at cathode is water. Why water? Because it is less negative. So as the rules apply, at anode, we choose the, if you still remember just now, it says that we choose the anode to be the most negative or least positive. For cathode, we choose the one which is the least negative or most positive. So in here, water is selected because it is less negative. So at the end, cathode, which uses steel as the conductor of electricity. So the half equation occur at cathode is 2H2O plus 2E minus give 2OH minus plus H2. So hydrogen gas is produced. But what in here we want what happened at the anode compartment. So the only answer correct in here is A. Chloride ions are oxidized. Okay, so Ken, so far these are the 5th question. So hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. Okay, then we go to number 6, shall we? Okay. The table below shows the properties of 4 substances. Which substance has the greater covalence characteristic? So in here, a giant covalent structure usually has a very high melting point. Okay. So in here, A and B is definitely out from our equation. For a giant covalent structure, the melting point cannot be this low. Okay. So the answer is either C or D. Okay. So because usually a giant covalent structure is either an insulator or a semiconductor. So no matter it is solid or liquid, it is usually a weak electrical conductor. Okay. So And then in aqueous solution, because of the giant covalent structure, so it usually does not dissolve in water. Okay, so in here, the best answer to describe a giant covalent structure in here is D. So this is how we determine which one is the suitable answer for question number 6. Okay. Okay, then we goes to number 7. Which graph correctly shows the relative electronegativity plotted against the relative atomic radius for elements sodium, magnesium, aluminium, and silicon? Okay, okay. So now you have to remember when going across period, atomic radius decrease. Now you have to think it in the other way around. Now because it's if you look at the graph, it's silicon, aluminium, magnesium, sodium. So it's the other way around. So when we say going across period decrease, that means backward is increase. So which one shows an increasing trend? So B and C shows an increasing trend. Okay, you see that? Atomic radius increase. See that or not? Okay, so the answer is either B or C. And then from the second way is electronegativity. So similarly, electronegativity increase when going across period. So in the other words, when backward, okay, electronegativity decrease. So electronegativity goes upward. So therefore, the best graph that describes both of them is B. Okay, so this is a very analytical question. You need to understand their nature of the atomic radius and also electronegativity so that you'll be able to answer these questions well. So you have to be very careful and analyze well because you have to think in the other way around. Okay, okay, so that is how you are going to answer for question number 7. Okay, as for question number 8, when equal volume of saturated solution of barium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide are mixed, a white precipitate Y is formed. The mixture is filtered and carbon dioxide is bubbled through the filtrate, producing a second white precipitate of Z. What could Y and Z be? Okay, so in here, you have to understand solubility of the group 2 hydroxide increase when going down to the group. Okay, so therefore, calcium hydroxide is less soluble compared to barium hydroxide. That means barium hydroxide is more soluble. Therefore, we expect the precipitate of Y is calcium hydroxide, not barium hydroxide. Okay, so the answer is either C or D. Then, when you pass through carbon dioxide, both calcium hydroxide and barium hydroxide will react and both form the white precipitate of calcium carbonate and barium carbonate respectively, according to the equation MOH2 plus CO2 give MCO3 plus H2O, and both barium and calcium carbonate are precipitate. So therefore, which could be the best pair of Y and Z? The best answer in here is C. So this is how we are going to answer question number 8. Next, we are going to look at question number 9. For question number 9, solution of magnesium nitrate and barium nitrate separately undergoes a reaction series. So you have magnesium nitrate when react with sodium carbonate to form M, when M react with excess HCl, you form N react with excess NaOH, you form P. Okay. Whereas the barium nitrate, when you react with sodium carbonate, you form Q. When react with excess HCl, you form R. When excess with NaOH, you form S. So M and P are magnesium compound, while QRS are barium compound. How many M and P, QRS are white precipitate? So you have to understand in here which ones are white, form a precipitate in the first place. So you have to understand when sodium nitrate react with sodium, when magnesium nitrate react with sodium carbonate, you form magnesium carbonate, which is a precipitate because all carbonates are insoluble in water. So things that are not soluble in water, you form a white precipitate. Okay. Now, when this magnesium carbonate, when you react with hydrochloric acid, you form magnesium chloride, which is an aqueous solution. So magnesium chloride, when you react with excess sodium hydroxide, you form a white precipitate of magnesium hydroxide. So magnesium hydroxide is a white precipitate solid in here. So inside here, magnesium, there are 2 white precipitate. Whereas for barium nitrate, similarly, when you react with sodium carbonate, okay, so you form a white precipitate of barium carbonate. Barium carbonate react with HCl to form a barium chloride, which is an aqueous solution. It's not dissolved, there's no white precipitate here. But when barium chloride react with sodium hydroxide, you form a soluble barium hydroxide. Okay, and this is in aqueous solution. That means this is not a precipitate. So from the table, we can see that N, P, and Q are solid. Therefore, how many precipitates are there? There are 3 precipitates. So the answer is B. Okay, then we have the next one, which is number 10. So in group 14, from carbon to lead, which property increases? So when going down the group 14, and elements and compounds, number 1, acidity of group 14 oxide decrease. Where you can see carbon dioxide and silicon dioxide are acidic. Germanium dioxide, tin oxide, lead oxide are amphoteric. So from acidic to become amphoteric, if let's say if there is a downward, then I will expect that it is basic. So instead of saying acidity, the statement that says that acidity of the oxide decrease is, acidity of oxide increase is wrong. Okay. As for B, thermal stability of the covalent chloride. Okay, so thermal stability of the covalent chloride decrease too. Why? Because when atomic radius become greater, bond length increase, bond strength decrease. So that is why thermal stability of the covalent chloride decrease. We're going now to group 14. Stability of the +2 oxidation state increase. Now you can judge from 2 angles, but the most significant angle is from the E0 value of M4 plus, M2 plus. So from M4 plus, M2 plus, it becomes more positive, starting from germanium, which is negative 0.10. Tin is positive 0.15, and then lead is positive 1.69. So when it is become more and more positive, so equilibrium shift more to the right. Therefore, M2 plus will eventually become more and more stable. That's why the stability of the +2 oxidation state increase. So if the stability of the +2 oxidation state increase, therefore stability of the +4 oxidation state decrease. Okay, so there you have number 10. The answer is C. Then we have a look at number 11. Carbon monoxide burns readily in oxygen to form carbon dioxide. What can be deduced from this information? Number 1, the oxidation state of carbon is more stable than the +2 oxidation state, which is actually correct because carbon is more stable as +4 than +2. Okay, so number 2, standard enthalpy change of the formation of carbon dioxide is more negative than carbon monoxide, and this is also true because when +4 is more stable, we expected the enthalpy change of the formation for the carbon dioxide shall be more negative because the more negative the enthalpy change of formation, the more stable the compound form. So therefore, number 2 selection is also correct. Number 3, value of the enthalpy equilibrium constant 2CO2 plus O2 give 2 CO2 gas is likely to be high. As we have already explained earlier, we said that a +4 oxidation state is more stable, therefore equilibrium will shift to the right better. So because equilibrium constant K is product over reactant, so you have shift to the right means that you have more product, so the equilibrium constant K is going to be greater. And last but not least, no information for the rate of reaction. So rate of reaction, there is no information that we can give based on the rate of reaction because equilibrium has nothing to do with the rate. Some of the reactions, even though it is not visible, okay, but the rate of reaction is very high. Okay, so rate of reaction has no correlationship with equilibrium constant. So the idea that says that rate of reaction is likely to be high is not correct. So the best answer in here is 1, 2, and 3 correct. So the answer is A. Then we goes to number 12. Redox reactions very frequently in the chemistry of group 17. Which statement is correct? So here are the properties of group 17 which include A. Chlorine is a stronger oxidizing agent, therefore can oxidize bromide ion and iodide. So the statement A, which said only bromide ion but not iodide ion, is wrong. Okay. Number B, Fluorine is the weakest oxidizing agent. Is it true? No. Fluorine is the strongest oxidizing agent among group 17. E0 value is the most positive. Okay, so that is why selection B is wrong. When we say that iodide ion is the least positive, that means that it is the weakest oxidizing agent. And conversely, iodide ion will be the strongest reducing agent among all halide ion. So the statement C is also not correct. And finally, D, when chloride reacts with water, chlorine is both oxidized and reduced. So what is this reaction? We call this as disproportionation reaction. So how does chlorine disproportionate? So Cl2 plus H2O give HCl plus HOCl. So from 0, it becomes -1 and also +1. Okay, so the best answer in here is donkey D. Okay, so we shall go to question number 13. A test tube of hydrogen iodide gas and the test tube of hydrogen bromide gas are placed together in an environment at temperature T. Which combination of observation are possible depending on the temperature T? Now you have to understand, comparing to hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide is easier to decompose. In fact, some of the hydrogen iodide even decompose under room temperature. Okay, so if you want to compare which one is more significant to decompose, iodide is going to be more significant to decompose. For HBr to decompose, you require a temperature greater than 100 degrees Celsius. Only then some of the HBr will decompose. Okay, so if let's say depending, they say under a certain temperature T, but they didn't give an obvious saying that what is the temperature. So we assume that it is not going to be high. Okay, so in here at the end of the day, when you put temperature T, therefore, if both heated at a temperature T, the one that you frequently obviously form is the purple vapor, which come from the iodine, whereas there is no observable changes for HBr, though you can see Br2 starting from temperature greater than that. Okay, so the best answer that describe this in here is C. Okay, then we go to question number 14. Which statement concerning the transition metal is correct? Now, they are all very tricky selections, so you have to be careful and go through one by one. A, they are only metal which the anhydrous chloride have covalent bond. Are you sure? B, they are only metal which give current ion in an aqueous solution. C, they are only metal which has more than one valence, which is oxidation state. And they are the only metals which complete 4s orbital in the atom. So let's have a look at A, B, C, and D. Why we say that A is incorrect? Because a lot of anhydrous chloride has covalent bond. For example, beryllium chloride, aluminium chloride, remember? So they are not the only, transition metal is not the only metal where the chloride have covalent bond, no. Okay? Okay, then if you look at C, C is also incorrect. Why? They are the only metal which has more than one oxidation state. Remember or not, just now we said that group 14, tin and lead can also have two oxidation state, which is +2 and +4. So is transition metal the only metals that have more than one oxidation state? Is also no. Okay, and finally, they are the only metal with a complete 4s orbital, which is also incorrect. Remember how to write the electronic configuration for chromium and copper? Chromium is 3d5 4s1, copper is 3d10 4s1. So the S4s orbital is not complete, isn't it? Okay, so how do we actually identify such answer for this question? You must first understand the definition of the transition metal. So transition metal is defined as metals that can have more than one stable oxidation state, okay, with incomplete field 3d orbital. Now, because of the incomplete field 3d orbital, it causes the metal aqueous to be colorful because of the DD transitions that take place in here. So therefore, the best description that fits the transition metal is B. They are the only metal which give colored ion in aqueous solution. The rest of the metals that does not give a colorful ion. Most of them are transparent color ion. Why? Because their d orbital is either empty or complete filled. So the best answer for number 14 is B. Okay, then last but not least, we have question number 15. So when drops of ammonia are added to copper nitrate, a pale blue precipitate is formed. Now this precipitate dissolves when excess ammonia is added, forming a deep blue solution. So which of the following do not occur in this sequence? So A, dative bond formation. So if dative bond formation is not involved, no. So you can see that in here, CuNH3 4 contain dative bond, and it is a complex ion. So A and B is not in our choice. C, precipitate of the copper 2 hydroxide is formed in a way. So this is the precipitate of copper hydroxide. While in D, there is no redox reaction take place. From all the equations in here, copper still remain a +2 oxidation state. So there are no changes of the oxidation states in here. So the best answer in here is donkey D. Okay. Okay, so with that, we finish all the 15 objective questions. Okay, so hopefully you all can understand. Now I shall give you some time for Q&A session. So any questions you can ask, I will reply you now. Let's take a 5 minutes break. We'll come back at 8:40 and then we shall continue. While in the meanwhile, you can ask me anything. I will try my best to answer you. Okay. Okay, let me review some of this one. Uh, okay, that's all for today. Okay, so can I score if I only read two? Rough X says that can I score if I read this one? Can I reply this? No, I cannot reply. No, you cannot. You cannot score just to read two chapter. You cannot. Okay, definitely you are not going to pass in here. Okay. What else? This I'm bad in calculation. Actually, in chapter in sem 2, there are not too many calculation. So if you feel that you are bad in calculation, especially when it comes to structure and essay, like especially essay, because you can choose the one which has less calculation and more of memorizations. Actually, inorganic chemistry is very easy to study. You get the important point, then you will be able to score well. Now, if you want to know what is the important point, you can always visit back all the slides that I have in my channel for semester 2. Every video that I made, I've already stressed what are the important point that you must memorize. So try your best. Okay? Okay, so I have problem with Faraday's equation Q equals to NF. Now, it's just the equation only. You just apply accordingly. If you want examples, you can always look back at the questions that I've already prepared for you inside my channel. So you can go to chapter 2 for more information. Okay. How to see live in Facebook? No, sorry, there is no Facebook live. It's YouTube live. I'm so sorry. I also don't know how to do it. Someone requested silicon to be taught. If you want, you can go to my channel. Inside there got chapter 5. Okay, where I detailedly explain about silicates. Okay. Okay, sorry, sir. Can you repeat answer for question 1 to question 9? Okay, Alex, don't worry. You later after the end of the session, the YouTube auto save the content just now, so you can review back. Don't worry. Okay. So I'm not clear about question 15 equation. Question 15 equation is fixed, so you must try your best to memorize that lah. If you buy my book explain that in details. So I'm so sorry because here we have very limited time, so I cannot possibly answer everything for you. So you want more detail? You go to my you go to my slide, my this PowerPoint presentations on the final chapter. I think it's the last two video lah. Okay, you find out there. Okay, Sensei, can you emphasize more in silicon topic? Any tips and tricks to score more in silicon? Actually, silicon topic is very small lah, not very big lah. Okay, so I do have the video already. Okay, and I'm thinking of next video. I will do the summarized notes for you all. I'm still thinking of that, which probably is going to happen probably next week or week after next week during the Hari Raya Haji holiday time. I'll do a special video, a live stream video for how to study Sem 2. Okay. Sir, may I know how to study transition element? Transition element, actually, you study until how to name is considered very good already. Because transition element is not very easy to study. You require because they are very different from the normal trend that we learn from chapter 3 until chapter 6 so far. So you really require a very careful plan. Okay. Okay, then need help for silicon for tomorrow. How come? You can go to my YouTube and watch the rest of the channel Okay. So I don't really understand the last question. I don't know why there is hexa aqua copper. Oh, hexa aqua happens when you dissolve copper inside aqua solution. Okay, that is fixed. That is fixed. So you have to just memorize it. I'm so sorry to say this because it's a theory. Okay. Okay, so hexa aqua is due to the aqua solution. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for helping me to this one. Okay, then how about copper nitrate? Why isn't used? Now, the key is not the nitrate. The nitrate is just a medium for copper to dissolve inside water. Okay, because you cannot use copper carbonate. Copper carbonate is a solid, correct or not? So that is why they use nitrate because nitrate is soluble in water. Okay, so the key for the reaction does not involve nitrate. Okay. Okay, so I double check with this one again, see whether they give me this. Can I pause the stream for a while because I need to double check this one for a while. Because I'm not sure why is it that not showing the video. I mean the slide okay, let me try again. Supposedly, I tried last time, it's supposedly to show the video. Now it'll be a little noise, sorry. I need a slide. Okay, let me try again. Supposedly, I tried last time, it's supposedly to show the video. Now it'll be a little noise, sorry. I need a slide. No, it's not going to work. Sorry for that. Okay, so shall we continue on our next section where we shall discuss structure and essay? You see, even for presentation, I also allocate the fair time to present objective, structure, and essay. Okay. Now, structure is short, so we can finish in just like 20 minutes. And then essay is long, so I shall discuss all three essay questions on how are you going to answer. Then I'll show you on the technique of how to answer them. Though you can already have the answer in there, I will just explain things that is not written inside the answer scheme. That means the technique of how to answer the essay. Okay. Okay, so shall we continue? Let's continue with question number 16, section B. Now, my advice for section B. So now, after 20 minutes spent for objective, okay, time suggested for part B is 1 hour 10 minutes. No lah, 15 to 20 minutes also lah. 15 to 20 also. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes also. Okay. So that is how much time you should spend for section B structure questions. Okay. So because 2 questions is also 15 marks. Okay. So and most of the structure questions, they are usually a short answer. Okay. So you should only answer each like 10 minutes per question. If shorter, better. Okay. So answers should be short and accurate. Now, it involves calculation. This is a very, very important point that most of the Stpm students neglected. Please make sure that when you substitute value, when there is calculation, substitute the value exactly given in the question. If the question use 0.350, don't forget to put the 0 behind the 35 there. Okay, so because usually when it comes to calculation, there is only 3 mark. The 3 mark usually goes to equation, substitution, answer. Okay, so these three are the main important thing. No matter how long your substitution you show, it is pointless. Okay, so just show the formula, just substitute the value given in the question, and just put the answer, and then that's it. Okay. And if you really cannot solve, you try other questions first. Don't over focus on one question and neglect the others. Especially when it comes to structure, you have no time to think because structure should be short and simple. Okay. So later when we go through the structure questions, though in this type of structure question, I don't give any calculations so it's more towards theory memorization. So if you can answer, very good. If you cannot answer, then forget about it. You have to move on to other questions. Okay. Okay. So in analyzation, let's have a look at question number 16 and 17, shall we? Supposedly it's a PowerPoint slide. Okay. I try to see the panel. Wait. Okay. Now, chlorate ions are powerful oxidizing agent. Okay. So the reduction of the chlorate 5 ion ClO3 minus with SO2 form the chlorine dioxide ClO2 and sulfate dioxide SO4 2 minus as the product. Number 1, write oxidation and reduction half equation for the conversion of ClO3 minus to ClO2 and SO2 to SO4 2 minus. 2 marks in here. Now, students, you should be able to write the correct half equations in here because the half equations is actually not that difficult to write. All you have to do is understand the 4 steps. If you want to understand, sorry, the 6 step. If you want to find out about the 6 step, you can go back to my video to find out how to write the half equation using the 6 steps that I showed. Where the first step starts from calculate the oxidation state. So the oxidation state of the ClO3 minus to ClO2 is from +5 to +4. So when it is +5 to +4, so reduction. So reduction electron is written at the left hand side. Okay. And from the changes of oxidation state from +5 to +4, so you reduce only by 1 oxidation state. In another word, you only accepted 1 electron. So only 1 electron in here. And then since here you have O3, so here right side you have O2. So you put 1 water at the right side to balance the O3. And when you have H2O at the right side, then you shall put 2H plus at the left side to balance the equation. So the half equation for ClO3 minus to ClO2 is ClO3 minus plus E minus plus 2H plus is ClO2 plus H2. Whereas for SO2 to SO4 2 minus, so you use the similar method. SO2 is +4, SO4 2 minus is +6. So from +4 to +6 is oxidation. So in oxidation, electron is placed at the right side, showing that it is doing oxidations. Okay. So from +4 to +6, since you donate only 2 electrons, so 2 electron is placed in here. Then the 5th step will be left side has O2, right side has O4. So to balance the equation of oxygen, so you put 2 water. Okay, and when you put 2 water, at the same time you have to put 4H plus. So the balance half equation for SO2 to SO4 2 minus is SO2 plus 2H2O give SO4 2 minus plus 2E minus plus 4H plus. Okay. And number B, based on the equation in A1, construct an overall equation for the reactions in here. Okay, so if you compare between these two, so equation 2 you multiply by 2. So you shall have 2 ClO3 plus 2E minus plus 4H plus give 2 ClO2 plus 2H2O. So eventually you can cancel 2 electron with 2 electron, 4H plus to 4H plus, 2 water with 2 water, and the equation construct the overall in here is 2 ClO3 minus plus SO2 give SO4 2 minus plus 2 ClO2 minus. So this is how you solve the questions. Okay, so hopefully you all can solve it well. Okay. Okay, and then for B, chlorate ion can be formed via disproportionation of chlorine in alkaline solution. So define the terms disproportionation. So what is disproportionation reaction? So it is oxidation and reduction occurs simultaneously on the same substance of the same species. Okay, 1 mark. Huh? Okay, number 2. When chlorine react with hydroxide ion aqueous solution under suitable condition is disproportionate to form aqueous chlorates 5 ion ClO3 minus and chloride ion Cl minus. Suggest the condition for the reaction. Hence write the ionic equation and state the oxidation state changes. 3 marks in here. So what should be the condition reaction for chlorine to disproportionate in hydroxide ion to form ClO3 minus and Cl minus? You should be under warm or heat or reflux, or you put any temperature above 60 degrees Celsius, then you get your mark correct. Okay, and then for the reaction equation, because the question requires you to write ionic equation, okay, so your ionic equation is Cl2 plus 6OH minus gives ClO3 minus plus 5Cl minus plus 3H2O. This one you have to know how to balance on your own. You have to memorize somehow this equation. So this one is chapter 6 questions. So this is the condition. Now, when chlorine react with sodium hydroxide under cold condition or under room temperature, you form ClO minus plus Cl minus plus H2O lah. Okay, so to form ClO3 minus, you require reflux condition. Okay. Okay, as for oxidation state changes, it changes from 0 to plus 5 and also minus 1. Okay, so you have to write both of them only, then you get the 1 marks in here. Okay, so that is how you solve for question number 16. Okay, then we goes to straight away to question number 17. Now, silicon is mainly used as a semiconductor in electronic industry. For this purpose, the silicon used has to be the highest purity. The initial step for the purification of silicon is to convert impure silicon into silicon tetrachloride, which is volatile under dry condition. Silicon tetrachloride form is then reacted with hydrogen to form a pure silicon. A. Write balanced chemical equations. That means there are 2 equations inside this description for the reaction which occur in the purification. If you read carefully, where are the 2 equations in here? For initial step is to convert impure silicon into silicon tetrachloride under dry condition. So how? You just add chlorine. Okay. And the silicon tetrachloride form is then reacted with hydrogen to form the pure silicon. Okay, so the first equation is to form silicon tetrachloride. So Si plus 2Cl2, not plus 2Cl2. Sorry for that. I accidentally left out the 2. Okay, 2Cl2. Okay, to give SiCl4. And then the second half equations in here will be SiCl4 plus 2H2 give Si plus 4HCl. So these are the 2 equations. And if you read carefully, all the conditions are already given in the question. All you need to do is just write out the formula and balance them accordingly. Okay. State of matter doesn't matter. In inorganic chemistry, state of matter is not stressed. Okay. State of matter is only important in 2 chapters, which is number 1, thermochemistry. When you write a thermochemical equation, state of matter must be written. Okay, but in here you don't write the state of matter, also never mind, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then the second one, state of matter is important when you describe the standard electrode potential. When you try to describe how do you measure standard electrode potential of a substance involved. Okay, because most of the time we will require you to write the cell diagram. Okay, so when you write cell diagram, you must also include the state of matter. So generally, when you try to describe how to determine standard electrode potential by comparing to standard hydrogen electrode, you require to write the state of matter for them. Okay. So in this case, you don't write state of matter, marks will still be given as long as the equation is balanced. Okay. Okay, B. State why silicon tetrachloride is volatile. This is questions. Please, every time when you see this kind of question, why silicon tetrachloride is volatile, it has something to do with its structure and bonding. Okay, so it tests you on your understanding for structure and bonding. So why silicon tetrachloride is volatile? Because it is a simple covalent molecule held by weak van der Waals forces. 2 marks. Okay, then the question also asks why must be under dry condition. Okay, so the third question will be explain the observation if silicon tetrachloride is exposed to moist referring to water. Okay, so I explain the observation. That means explanation 1 mark, observation 1 mark. Okay, so 2 marks is there. Very obvious the way of how the question asked. In inorganic chemistry, there are 3 very important points that students should always remember. Number 1, equation. Number 2, observation. Number 3, explanation. These are always the 3 main key that you always have to remember whenever you are answering for inorganic chemistry questions. Okay, so what is actually happening, what we observe, white film is formed. So how does the white film is formed? Because it undergo hydrolysis. Okay, either you say SiCl4 undergo hydrolysis, or you write the equation that shows how the HCl of white film of HCl is formed. So either you write any 1 mark is given in here. Okay. And last but not least, this is a very easy question. State 2 methods which can be used to increase electrical conductivity of a silicon. 1, either you increase the temperature. Then number 2, you dope with phosphorus or boron. Now, cannot say doping. Doping is not specific. You must specifically mention doping with what? You must mention doping with either phosphorus or boron. Either one shall do. Okay, but you just cannot use the word doping. Full stop. Cannot. Okay, so you must specific. Okay, with that is all for the structure question. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to slightly understand better on the technique of how to answer structure question. Answer should be short and accurate. Okay, so you know you can answer. You don't know, you better move on to the next question. Okay, don't spend too much time on the structure question. Okay, so let's move on to section C, shall we? Okay, section C essay question. So, which is question number 18 to 20. Suggest time allocation 50 minutes. So, if you see the way of how we distribute the time is fair enough. Because section C consists of 30 marks. If you remember what I mentioned earlier, section A 15, section B 15, section C 1 essay 15, 2 essay 30. So, there are 4 sections in here. A, B, C1, C2. So the distribution of time should be equals for all of them. And usually I will advise you all to spend a little bit more time on essay. It's because number 1, you have to read through all the questions first. Okay? And then you choose the 2 questions which you are more confident to answer. Okay? So that is why selecting the questions that you know is very important. Most of the students, they see one part of question, I can answer part A, 3 marks, but B and C, they don't know how to answer, 12 other marks. So you are basically wasting 12 marks because of the 3 marks. So don't do that. When you read through the question, make sure you understand mark the most, which one you can get the most marks inside there. Okay, so don't because of 3 marks you select that questions. So please make sure you read the whole question and answer the questions which you are confident. Okay, and answer each question within 25 minutes per questions, and write as many things as you remember as you can. However, avoid contradicting statement. If let's say explain yes or explain no, you cannot answer yes and no at the same time. So for us, the examiner plus 1 minus 1. So at the end, you get 0. Okay. So please do not provide contradicting answer. Okay. And last but not least, some of you will start to ask, teacher, can we use point form or not? Actually, for Stpm, we allows you to use point form. Yes. However, we do not advise you to really write them because very direct answer. If you correct, okay, if you are brilliant student, correct for you is correct, very good. But if wrong, then you have no chance to twist and turn for your answer. Because in essay, you can slightly turning a bit of your words in here. If, that means you try to blah, 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 blah your answer. Okay, so try your best to write in the essay. Okay, but if you are really confident to write in point form, go ahead. We won't stop you. Okay, it's okay to write in point form. Okay, so are you ready? So in my essay discussion, I shall use point form because this is the most direct way. However, I shall only stress on the important point and I shall teach you on how is the technique to answer essay questions. Okay, so in the next session, let's go into the essay questions. Okay, stearic acid C18H36O2 is a typical fatty acid, a molecule with a long hydrocarbon chain and organic acid COH at the end. It is used to make cosmetic, ointment, soaps, and candle, and is found in animal tissue as part of many saturated fats. In fact, when you eat meat, chances that you are ingested some fat can contain stearic acid. So from all the description in here, you should know by yourself that stearic acid is solid. Okay, very obvious, isn't it? Okay, and teacher, how do we tell which one is solid, liquid, and gas? For organic compound, if more than C8, guarantee is solid already. If between C1 to C4, for hydrocarbon, C1 to C4 are gas, C5 to C8 are liquid. But when it involves carboxylic acid, C1, C2 to C4 is liquid already. C6 above are solid already. Okay, and furthermore, such a large molecule, C18, is guaranteed a solid. Okay, so you must know by yourself very well that these are definitely solid. Okay. Okay, A. Define standard enthalpy change of combustion and write equation for the complete combustion of stearic acid, 3 marks in here. So, how do you define enthalpy change of combustion? So if the heat released when 1 mole of substance, or you write 1 mole of stearic acid, is burned in excess air, or you write burn in excess oxygen, 1 mark. Okay. Then always remember, no matter what definition that you give for defining enthalpy change, always end with this one: under standard condition. Usually Stpm give 1 mark for writing under standard condition. Okay, so if your definition first is wrong, then you still at least get 1 mark. Okay, so and then the third one still require you to write a balanced equation for the complete combustion of stearic acid, and in here we strictly require you to write the state of matter. So the correct equation is C18H36O2 solid plus 26O2 gas give 18CO2 plus 18H2O. So you must be very good in balancing the chemical equations. Yeah. Okay. So 3 marks for A. Very straightforward. Okay, teacher, how do we know the distribution of the mark? Can we write everything inside there? So if you're feeling insecure, you go ahead and write the equations, okay? So you never know where are the marks located. STPM student shouldn't predict where are the marks located, okay? That is our work as a teacher. We predict the mark, okay? But for you all, you just write as many things as you know. That's why we allocate a lot of time for essay, 20 to 25 minutes, because you must write a lot of things, okay? Okay, so that is for 18A. And then for 18B, given the standard enthalpy change of formation for stearic acid, carbon dioxide, and water are negative 1948, negative 393, and negative 286 kilojoule per mole respectively. A. By using Hess law, calculate the standard enthalpy change of combustion for stearic acid, 4 marks. Now I understand that some of you you always love to use because you learn the formula. Total enthalpy change of the reaction is equals to total enthalpy change of product minus total enthalpy change of reactant. I never said that you cannot use that method. You can use method, okay? But the marks will not be as high as you expected. 4 marks, even if you have formula, formula 1 mark, substitution 1 mark, answer 1 mark, you can only get 3 marks. So where is the last mark gone? So for STPM students, please, whenever you see ask you to calculate certain enthalpy change, and their marks is very big, 4, 5, 6 marks. The only way to make sure that you get the maximum marks is through Hess law. Hess law is the safest way to make sure that you score the highest possible mark. Even teachers like me, we always use Hess law to write essay, because for this, like this, only then you can guarantee you get the highest mark. Okay, so please don't be lazy. You must be able to write Hess law. Okay, okay. So right, for carbon solid plus oxygen gas give carbon dioxide negative 393. Hydrogen plus half oxygen give H2O. It must be standard. Okay. And then last but not least, 18C plus 18H2 plus O2 gives C18H36O2 solid negative 1948. Okay, so writing all these 3 equations correctly with the same correct state of matter will give you 2 marks. Any equation wrong or not balanced will minus 1 mark. Okay. Okay. Then we goes to you manipulate equation 1 multiply by 18, equation 2 multiply by 18 also, And then equation 3, you reverse okay, you reverse So after you get all this, so 1 mark for calculation. So when you calculate all this, calculation 1 mark. Okay, finally the final answer 1 mark. Okay, negative 10274 kilojoule per mole. Negative symbol, don't forget. Unit, don't forget. Okay, teacher, in this case, is significant figure important or not? No. When you use Hess law, you just ignore the significant figure. And one more thing about when you apply Hess law is some of the questions sometimes they love to put point zero behind them. Now if the question has point zero behind them, it means something. Number one, your substitution must also have point zero behind them. And then number two, your answer should also have point zero behind them because all question uses point zero. So your final answer should also have point zero behind them. Now this is the technique of Stpm when they questions you. So my advice to you, please be sensitive with all the figure. When you use Hess law, ignore the how many significant figure that you are facing. Okay, so that is how you solve for this one. Okay, so this is the 4 marks, equation 2 mark, substitute calculation 1 mark, answer 1 mark. Okay, and last but not least, B, construct an energy level diagram for the combustion of stearic acid based on the information provided in B1. Okay, so always start with the y-axis labeling energy in kilojoule. This is the very important, very basic way of how you draw the energy level diagram. And teacher, can I use all the cycle that we see in the Oxford Fajar or Pelangi reference book when they say energy level diagram? Energy level. So you must have energy with level, energy level diagram. So all other methods are not accepted. Okay, so only these are accepted. Okay, so the safest is you use this. So to draw this energy level diagram, you must understand the nature. Refer back to the Hess law in here. Okay, because you want to draw energy level diagram, you should apply all equations in here. Now, there's a lot of things to learn when you try to draw energy level diagram. I'm so sorry because of the time constraint, I cannot teach you everything here. If you want to find out more about how to draw energy level diagram, please visit my video. Okay, so the base key in here is you must make use of the equations which are in here, which you already derived. Okay, so 18C plus 18O2 give 18CO2, 18H2 plus 9O2 give 18H2O, and then this one, the final one, CaH36O2, this is the enthalpy change of formation, and originally enthalpy change of formation is exothermic, so you cannot use this one, you cannot change this one because formation in its nature is exothermic. Okay, you reverse this equation just because you want to apply Hess law. So when you draw energy level diagram, do not reverse the arrow in here. You just follow what is the original enthalpy change of reactions. Now maybe if I said like this, you'll be able to understand. So we go to the diagram. Okay, so in here, the first equation is 18C plus 18H2 plus 27O2. Now, you have 3 equations in here. Sorry. What are the 3 equations in here? Sorry, I go back for a while so that I can copy paste certain thing. Sorry. Because I want to teach you how to draw this energy level diagram, so I have to show you on how to draw all these. Wait. Okay, please be patient. I forgot to copy paste back this one. So okay, I erase this one. Okay. Now, basically, you have 4 equations here. Okay. What are the 4 equations in here? You have this one, 18 plus carbon plus oxygen. Okay. And then 18H2 plus 9O2 give 18H2O, second equation. Third equation is this one. 18C plus 18H2 plus O2 give this one. And then the last one is this one, combustion, CH18O2. Now, to draw a to draw a balanced energy level diagram lah, you must have two sides. I call it as left side and right side. So you have to figure out in terms of the total value, when you sum up total left side and total right side, they should be the same lah. Okay. So in here, it seems that summing the total of the CO2. So the first energy level, I shall focus on C. Okay, where in here 18C plus 18O2 give 18CO2. So this will release a total of negative 7,074. So in here 18 carbon gone, 18 oxygen gone. So you have 18 hydrogen plus 9 oxygen. So you carry downward. So this will release a total of negative 7074 kilojoule per mole. Okay, and then the second energy level is for water. So 18H2 plus 9O2 give 18H2O. So this will also release a total of negative 5,148. Okay. So this is the total energy level at the left side. So total energy level, if you calculate properly, is 12222 at the left side. And then the right side in here is another energy level where at first 19848 is the formations of the stearic acid lah. Okay, formation of the stearic acid. So you have 1948. So you form stearic acid C18H36O2 plus 26O2 because you use one O2 to react. Okay, and this one is the combustion. C18H36O2 plus 26O2 is the combustion just now. It's 10,274. So you sum up total 1948 and 11274. At the end, you still get the same 12222. Okay, so you see left side and right side, both of them has the same amount of value. Now ignore the magnitude. Just ignore the magnitude. Just make sure that ignore the vector. Just make sure that the total summation at the left side and the right side are balanced. Then you can construct a balanced energy level diagram. Okay, so I'm so sorry because of the time constraint, I cannot focus too much in this energy level diagram. If you want to learn more about energy level diagram, do visit my old videos and you shall learn from there It will be better if you have my books Okay. Then that is all for B. And then now we go for C, shall we? Endowment chain of combustion can also be determined experimentally by using bomb calorimeter. Complete combustion of 13.6 gram of the stearic acid in bomb calorimeter caused the temperature of the calorimeter to increase by 63.0 degrees Celsius. Given the heat capacity of the bomb calorimeter is 7.32 kilojoule per degree Celsius, calculate the endowment chain of combustion of the stearic acid in the bomb calorimeter. Hence, compare the effectiveness of the combustion using bomb calorimeter to that of the standard endowment chain of combustion calculated from B1. So B1 that we calculated just now is basically a theoretical value, okay, so in here, if it involves calculation like this, significant figure is very important, so you have to read carefully. You see 13.6, 63.0, 7.32, all of them shows you how many significant figure? All of you show you 3 significant figures. So for your final answer of the calculation, you shall also have 3 significant figures. So how to calculate this question? Same 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? Calculate Q, calculate mole, calculate delta H using the Q over mole. Okay, so let's start from the Q first. So how to calculate Q? Now Q in here, instead of using Q equals to MC theta, in this case, because you are given heat capacity, so straight away Q equals to C theta. Okay, teacher, do I need to write the unit? When you do substitution, you don't write unit, never mind. Okay, but do remember that this is kilojoule, so don't forget to bring the kilojoule forward. Okay, afraid that you might have forgotten and then later you write as joule. Okay, so Q equals to capital C theta. Okay, or you substitute 7.32 kilojoule per degree Celsius times temperature 63.0. That is why I said substitute as exactly given to you in the questions. Okay, so 1 mark is for substitution. And after you calculate, you get 461.16 kilojoule. Okay, then step 2 is calculating the mole. So when 13.6 divided by 18 times 12.0, now even the value from the periodic table, substitute the value from the periodic table correctly. In the periodic table, carbon is 12.0, hydrogen is 1.0, oxygen is 16.0. So you substitute as exactly given to you in the periodic table. Okay. Okay, and then finally calculate the delta H combustion. So 416.6, which is get from Q, 0.04788 is from mole. Okay, teacher, if I calculate 11 wrongly, will it affect the mark 13? No, because mark 13 is carried forward. Okay, your answer is based on how you calculate number 11. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, but the final answer in here is negative 9,630 kilojoule per mole. Three significant figure. Don't forget negative. Don't forget unit. Okay, because this is the standard temperature of combustion, kilojoule per mole. Okay. Okay, and last but not least, the question also require you to calculate the effectiveness. So value of the bomb calorie is less than theoretical. Okay, if you want to put explanation also can, because the reaction might not be incomplete and etc. etc. It doesn't matter lah, because this is essay after all. So if you want to write, you write lah. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so that is how you solve for essay question number 18. Okay, any questions so far? Which part in here that you cannot understand? You save up later. Later I have Q&A time. You can ask me any questions there. Okay. Okay. Then we goes to question number 19, shall we? Question number 19. Okay, question number 19 is from chapter 3. Lithium, sodium, and potassium are elements in group 1 of the modern periodic table. Explain the ionization energy trend for lithium, sodium, and potassium when down to group 1, 5 marks. When you have 5 marks, try to write as many points as you can, including definition, equation, explanation, okay, on the ionization energy trends. Okay, so just include everything. If for even definition also, you try to define what is ionization energy. Ionization energy is the heat absorbed to when one mole of gaseous atom remove one mole of electron under standard condition. Okay, so you just define. Okay, you don't worry where the marks located. As a student, when you write essay, you write everything that you know. Okay, so here are where the 5 marks located. Number 1, ionization energy increased from potassium to sodium to lithium, or you write in the other way around, ionization energy decreased from lithium to sodium to potassium. Some of you write ionization energy decreased from when going down to group 1, also accepted, don't worry, can. Okay, then you write the equation, K gas give K plus gas plus E minus, state of matter must exist, because this is enthalpy change of reaction, so state of matter is a mass. Okay, or you and then you can also define like I told you earlier. Okay, then the third mark goes to explanation why. So atomic radius increase when going down to the group 1. There are 3 factors which influence the ionization energy, which are nuclear charge, screening effect, and atomic radius. You just write all of them. Okay, don't care where the marks located. Okay, and then the 4th mark goes to screening effect increase as the number of shell increase. And last but not least, effective nuclear charge decreased from lithium to sodium to potassium. Okay, teacher, can I use the symbol of mathematics? Actually, mathematical symbol is not important in here. You can even use comma, no problem. Okay. Okay, so that is how the 5 mark is given for this essay question. But like I said, as a student, you just write everything that you know. Okay. Okay, so that is how you answer question number 19A. Then it goes to 19B. Lithium and sodium mildly burn in oxygen to form different products of oxides. Okay, number 1, by writing balanced chemical equations, name the oxide formed from the reaction and compare the reactivity between lithium and sodium with oxygen. 6 marks in here. So these are a little bit chemistry that you have to know for lithium oxide and magnesium sodium oxide, because they behave differently. Okay, so sodium, of course, sodium is more reactive than lithium when react with oxygen. So because why? Because sodium is more electropositive, or you say sodium is more negative. Or cannot, okay, whatever. Or you say sodium is a stronger reducing agent than lithium, also can, no problem. Okay, so for the lithium, the equation is 4Li plus O2 give 2Li2O. Name of the product is lithium oxide. And then for sodium is 2Na plus O2 give Na2O2 is sodium peroxide. Okay, so because the question already said form different products of the oxide, so the product that you must give must also be different. You cannot write both lithium oxide and sodium oxide, cannot. Okay, must give different product, and that is the reaction actually. Okay. So very, very straightforward, 6 marks in here. So hopefully you'll be able to write the equation, name the product, and explain the reason why. Huh? Okay. Our teacher, can we accept ionization energy? I start to think of can accept already, you know. Okay, can accept ionization energy lah, can lah. Because the statement that says is more negative, I start to disagree already. Okay, so can we change last minute in here? I'm so sorry lah. Or it said the ionization energy. Okay, can. Okay. Can sorry suddenly last minute change answer. Okay, so this is the equation. So this is how you answer lah for B1. Okay. Okay. Then you have B2. Lithium and oxygen oxide of lithium and sodium when dissolved in water form colorless solution that turns purple on universal indicator. Explain this observation. So 4 marks in here. So purple, what does the purple color of the indicator actually indicates? So you must stress that both oxide of lithium and sodium dissolve in water to form alkaline solutions. Okay, and the purple indicators indicate that they are strong alkaline, or you say ionized completely in water. Okay. Okay, so the moment that you write dissolve in water that forms strong alkali is 2 marks straight away. Okay, 2 marks straight away in here. Okay, and then last but not least, you have to write the equation because the reaction for lithium oxide in water and sodium peroxide in water are different. So you have to write the equations in here. Now, as I already told you, when you answer for inorganic chemistry, 3 very important key in here are observation, explanation, and equation. Even though the question does not say you must write equation, but through equation you can shows how the hydroxide is formed, isn't it? So you must also include the equations together in here. Okay. So these are how you are going to score the 4 marks for question number B lah, B2 in here. Okay. Okay, last but not least, you have okay, so with that, that is all for question number 19. So hopefully when the similar questions come out, you can this one. And actually there are so many variations of chapter 3, so you better study as much as you can. Okay. Okay, now we are going to the final essay question. Yeah, sorry. Uh, can I replay the video? So sorry. I forgot that you must use this method. Okay, I'm so sorry. Pardon me. Okay. I stopped at here, isn't it? Okay. Because if I use the presentation mode, you don't see anything. Okay, I'm going to repeat again. Okay, so for 8 marks, you use sodium is more reactive than lithium when react with oxygen. Since sodium is more electropositive, or ionization energy of sodium is lesser than lithium. 7 mark. And then for the 8 mark, you write the balance equation. 4Li plus O2 give 2Li2O, and name of the product is lithium oxide. And then the 10 mark is 2Na plus O2 give Na2O2. So the name of the product is sodium peroxide. Okay, and then for the last second mark in here, the 12 mark, oxide of lithium and sodium when dissolved in water form colorless solution that turns purple on universal indicator. Explain this observation. So you have to mention both oxide of lithium and sodium dissolved in water to form alkali solution, which is a strong alkali. Purple color is strong alkali. From purple then to orange, red to orange. That purple is the strongest. Then red, then orange. Orange is already considered weak acid. Green, okay. Sorry, yellow to orange to yellow, and then yellow to green. Green is neutral. And then after green is blue, okay. Then after blue is dark blue, okay. What am I talking about? Sorry. I repeat again. For acidic, right? Okay, sorry. Can I rewind again all this? I start to confuse already. Okay. Okay. Okay, we start from the acidic color, this alkali color. Strong alkali is purple. Then after purple is blue. Blue is slightly weak alkali already. And you have light blue. And then after light blue, you have green. Green is the neutral, 7. So blue and light blue are weak alkali already. So yellow, green is the neutral color. After green is yellow. Yellow is weak acid. Then orange is mildly weak, and red is strong acid. Okay. Okay, correct already. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay. I so sorry I didn't put the color slide here. So later you go and find out lah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And then the equations for lithium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide in water. So try your best to write the equations lah. Okay. Okay. So that is for how you are going to answer for question number 19B. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the wrong explanation just now. Okay. Then last but not least, 20. Discuss the acid-base property of the oxide of group 14 element and the periodic table, and write the equations for the reactions involved. 12 marks. There is a very big marks in here. Yes, sometimes essay question can go to a very big mark. Very big mark means what? You have to write everything. Okay. And in this case, I will sometimes suggest you all to use a table to help you to write better. And when we say acid-base properties of oxides of group 14, it includes +2 and +4 guarantee. This is for sure. So you must try your best to write as many as you can about +2 and +4 oxide of the group 14 elements. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Now, no matter you discuss acid-base properties of the group 14 oxide or thermal stability of the group 14 oxide, always start with these two statements. These two statements is always the most important. Okay, what? Number one, group 14 exists in +2 and +4 oxidation state, and then which has the formula MO and MO2. This is the most basic way of how you want to start your essay every time you want to explain acid-base property or thermal stability. Okay. Okay, only then you start to explain. Okay, so CO and SiO are neutral oxide. Okay, and then GeO, SNO, and PbO are amphoteric. So the question also said write the equations. So you have to write the equations involved. So as a base, MO plus 2H plus give M2 plus H2O. And then as acid, you have a lot of equations that we accept in here. Either you write PbO plus 4H plus H2O form PbOH6 4 minus. Now, this equation is specifically for lead only. So we accept lead for this. And then lead can also form PbOH4. Actually, germanium tin can also behave under the same way or you write MO plus OH minus plus H2O give MOH3. So all these answers are accepted. This is actually an adaptation from year 2013 So we at that time we discussed we accept all appropriate equations involved. However, for tin and for germanium and tin, this equation is not acceptable. The one with the 4H minus is not acceptable. The one with the 4H minus is only acceptable for lead. Okay. Okay, so you have already discussed the +2 oxidation state, and then we go to the +4 oxidation state by stating that CO2 and that SiO2 are acidic oxide, and then you write the equation. You take carbon or silicon are all the same. Okay, so in here I take silicon. SiO2 plus 2OH minus give SiO3 2 minus plus H2O. And then GeO, SnO2, and PbO2 are all amphoteric oxide. So you again, as acid, you write the equation MO2 plus 2OH minus plus 2H2O give MOH6, or MO2 plus 2OH minus give L3 2 minus. We also accept because this is true for germanium. Germanium can form. Okay, and then as a base, MO2 plus 4H plus give M4 plus 2H2O. This applies same for all germanium, tin, and lead. Okay, and last but not least, because from acid to amphoteric, you can either say acidity decrease or basicity increase down group 14 oxide. Okay, so you must also explain this. So with that, that is how you score all the 12 marks inside here. Okay, so I've already stressed that when we discussed the group 14 oxide. So you can go back to my video presentation and then you shall see on how I stress all this. Okay. Okay, so this is for 20A, 2 marks. So 20B, the last one. Red lead is an oxide of lead used extensively as a surface coating to prevent corrosion of iron and steel. It contains 90.66% by mass of lead which present in the both plus 2 and plus 4 oxidation state. Calculate empirical formula of the red lead and state the ratio of lead 2 oxide and lead 4 oxide. 3 marks in here. So you have to calculate empirical formula. So you calculate the mole of lead and oxygen, which will give you 1 mark in here. And after you calculate, you divide by 0.4380, you get your ratio is 1 to 1.33. Actually 1.33 is equivalent to 4 over 3. So as a result, your empirical formula is PV3O4. Okay, so in here, this one you have to try your best to deduce the ratio of the lead 2 oxide to lead 4 oxide is actually 2 to 1. Okay, no matter how you deduce, as long as you write the ratio of the PVO to PVO2 is 2 to 1, then that is the 1 marks in there. Okay, okay, so with this, that is all for the questions that I set up for you for this time examination. And then soon, usually for me, I will set up another paper before 1 week before the examination to make sure that the students can understand well. Of course, the one that I set in the second time will be much more difficult than this. Okay, so be ready for it. Okay, okay. So with that, I finished my presentation for the discussion for the questions. Okay, and if you have any questions, I give you 15 minutes for Q&A, and you can ask me through YouTube Live, and then I'll try my best to answer you. Okay, okay. So with that, I finished the presentation of the question paper, and now we go to the Q&A session, shall we? Okay, that's all. Okay, feel free to ask any question that you want. Okay, so I write I flip back. Okay. Oh, this is very okay. Starting from here. Okay, thank you, welcome. Depends on the question. Okay, thank you, sir. See the lowest of decimal point in the question. Can my teacher say you time use significant figure use decimal? Okay, no. Can I know when should we add aqueous gas and solid in the equation? I can only tell you the state of matter is really learned through experience lah. It's really learned through experience. This you have to really go through experience by doing a lot of exercises. But inside the periodic table, do I have the periodic table in here? Wait, okay, okay. Now inside this periodic table, how to determine which one is solid, liquid, and gas? I will just briefly tell you in elements which one is solid, which one is liquid, which one is gas. Generally, all elements inside these periodic tables are solid. There are only a few gas and there are only a few gas inside here. So which one of them are gas? Okay, so hydrogen is gas. Okay, hydrogen exists as H2. Then all group 18 are gas for sure. Okay, and they exist as a monoatomic. Uh, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorines are gas. Nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine are gas. Chlorine is also gas. Okay. Bromine is the only liquid. Sorry, bromine and mercury. Sorry, bromine and mercury are the liquids in here. Okay, and then the rest are all solid. Okay, and then you also have to try your best to remember some of them that exist as a diatomic: hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. All of them are diatomic. Phosphorus P4, sulfur S8. Okay. Oh, okay. You cannot see the periodic table. Sorry for that. Okay. Uh, okay. So I hope that I answered that. Huh? Okay, doping with pentavalent or trivalent atom. No, 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 no. Cannot. Doping phosphorus or boron. Cannot other than that. Okay. So is it necessary to show physical state in the equation? As I already told you that it's only you only show in thermochemistry. Thermochemistry, and when you determine the enthalpy change of the reaction, then you have to show the state of matter in here. Okay. Oh, so can just ignore significant figure. Cannot ignore. Can must follow the significant figure. Okay, sir. How to determine how many significant figure or decimal place for calculation question? Now you see, for question number 18 B and 18C. Now 18B and 18C are two different skills in STPM. 18B is you solve using Hess law. Now when you solve using Hess law, you must we don't really care about significant figure. When you solve using Hess law, significant figure is no longer important in this case. I have feedback to the this one. Okay, you can see here, significant figure, even you see my final answer is 10274. How many significant already? Okay, because in Hess law, significant figure is not important. However, when you solve for C, C is another step because C here involve the equation application. So you apply in equation, isn't it? That is the time when you have to look carefully at the number. So 13.6, 63.0, 7.32, all of them are trying to tell you that your final answer should be in three significant figure. Okay, so when it comes to using equations to calculate, using equation to calculate, then you have to look at the significant figure. But in this case, if you use Hess law no need to look at the significant figure. Okay, so I hope that it answer you. So actually, when we need to put mole minus one, I saw some case do not need. Mole minus one is for standard. That means it's for one per mole. Per mole means how many? Per one mole. Lor. Okay. So when it comes to per one mole, then no need lah. Okay. Okay. How come no? Oh, it's like that. Okay. Okay. When the equation, remember to subscribe. Screen is lagging. Yeah. It's a little bit lagging. Sorry for that. Sir, your PowerPoint. Sorry, it's a little lagging. Sorry for that. This proportionation is a redox. Yes, this proportionation is a redox reaction. Yes. So there is no periodic table show. I'm so sorry because I also don't know what is going on. To be honest, I'm not very good in using this streaming software. Even the presentation just now also. Sorry I apologize for that. Okay. Okay, teacher is 16B2. If right condition, if the reaction is hot or concentrated, is it accepted? Can. As long as the word hot is there, then it's okay. Okay, so how to remember color of the transition element? Uh, you have no choice but to memorize. Sorry for this. You have to no choice but to memorize the colors. You only remember a few. Remember for chromium, iron, and copper. These three are the most basic. So try to remember these three: copper, iron, and chromium. Okay, these three are the most frequently asked. Okay. So how did DD transition occur? Wow, this is a very big topic. Do you mind go to the old video, the one that I have for chapter 7? I explained in my video. So can you please go to that? To explain this chapter takes like 20-30 minutes. Take a very long time. So can you please refer back to the video inside there? Okay, thank you very much. Any question else? No, no. To study SEM two. Okay, sir. Is it must use half equation to show basic and acidic property in the equation? Yeah. Some ionic equations. They sometimes require you to write this acidic condition or basic condition. Okay, so depends on the situation. Okay. How to determine the geometry of the complex ion of the transition element? For example, CuCl4 is tetrahedral, CuNH3 is square planar. Uh, wait. CuCl4 2 minus and CuNH3 4 are both tetrahedral. Okay, this one experience lah. I'm so sorry lah. You have to refer to some of the international reference books because these are all theoretical stuff. So you have to remember based on that lah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so why sodium react with O2 to form Na2O2 and not Na2O? That's why I said you check international reference books. I'm so sorry lah. You have to check international reference book. I already forward some of the international reference book to some of the teachers. So if you want, I cannot share online like this, because sharing ebooks is illegal. So I can only secretly share with your teachers through what Telegram group. So if you want, you ask from your teacher, okay or not. Sorry for that. But the reaction of sodium with oxygen is Na2O2. I don't know. I cannot say other books are wrong because I have no right to say other people wrong. So I only say things that I feel is right and is refer to the international reference books. Okay, sorry for that. Well, any else question that you all want to ask? Now, if you have more, if I have more chance in the future I'll do a live stream on the way of how to make short notes for SEM 2 okay. I dare not promise you, but I will try my best to do okay, because I know in this PKP, in this MCO season, a lot of you has been slacking off during the 3 months, a lot, even including my own student, they slacking off a lot already. Uh, next live I dare not promise when but probably during the next week on probably Friday, Saturday. So stay tuned I will let you know when I want to do a stream I'll stay tuned in YouTube okay. You please like and subscribe. I'll tell you from there. Okay. I try my best to use these methods to this one. So which international reference book to refer? Raymond Chang chemistry. Raymond Chang chemistry, not Raymond Chow. Raymond Chang chemistry. Okay. So, but when exam, should we follow the international book? Oh, we when we do marking, we definitely follow international reference book. We don't follow local book. We don't even look at the local book. Local book are written by local writer, which is they don't. I'm not sure whether they have the right references or not. Okay, but if you buy my book, guarantee it's from international reference book. Okay. 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 So I feel that that is all for our online streaming today. Hope that you all enjoy. I know that I talk a little fast. I'll try to improve from time to time. And then in future, I will use this way to communicate with all of you lah. To those who are not able to follow me, I mean follow my lesson in school, in tuition or whatsoever. So this is the methods that can help you lah. So stay tuned for more informations. And then I wish you all the best for the upcoming examination. Later I will post on my blogspot the short notes for sem 2 lah, so you can use it as a references. And then but don't rely too much on short notes on my short notes okay. But for some average student, if you feel that no more time to study, then you better memorize my short notes okay. At least that is the thing that you can do okay. Okay, so I guess that's all for tonight. So see you all in our next lesson. So 晚安，再见。